I am running hot today because I am very passionate about the subject that we are tackling today. And the subject we are tackling today revolves around the Timberwolves Karl Anthony Towns trade, which received Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. And the reason why I'm hot is because people a year later still do not understand the large idea behind the trade. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to revisit it. But first, I need to tell you about 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. If you need a bathroom remodel and you want it done in as little as 24 to 48 hours, you need to contact 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. No more waiting 6 to 8 weeks for your bathroom to get done. No more cramming in this teeny tiny bathroom downstairs while you try to get ready for work and while the kids try to get ready for school. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis will have your bathroom done in 24 to 48 hours. And you'll have your bathroom back almost immediately. And it will be the bathroom remodel of your dreams. It happened to us. Our original bathroom was outdated, ugly, moldy, disgusting, embarrassing. We had a big step, a moldy shower, handrails everywhere. We hated it. We contacted 5-Star Bath and they redid our floors, our shower, our tub, our sink, our vanity. Everything was done in 48 hours. And we had our bathroom back 3 days later. 5-Star Bath Solutions has affordable payment plans and they have free consultations available. It's a win, 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 win. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out today if you are interested in a bathroom remodel of your dreams. Okay, so let's revisit this Karl Anthony Towns trade, which got Minnesota back Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo and a future first-round pick from Detroit. One, the trade got back the Timberwolves' depth. Okay, very good. And we've seen that depth play out in the playoffs. Donte DiVincenzo coming off the bench, giving the Timberwolves rotation valuable minutes, and for the most part is finishing games. That's huge. Especially because Mike Conley is undersized when he's trying to guard guys like Austin Reeves. The only reason why Mike Conley was in the game against the Lakers at the end is because Jaden McDaniels fouled out. And it just so happened to work out perfectly because then Mike Conley hit the game-clinching three-point shot in the corner. But Donte DiVincenzo adds valuable minutes off the bench. Julius Randle. The dude is built for the playoffs because you watch some of the physicality that he is bringing in these playoffs. And none of the things that he was doing versus the Lakers is allowed in the regular season. They would have called offensive fouls. They would have called defensive fouls. And Randle is built. The dude is like a rock. You can't move the guy. And the Timberwolves got out of the first round. Last year, they made it to the Western Conference Finals. And now it appears that they will face the Warriors in the second round to get to the Western Conference Finals. So maybe the Timberwolves will get to the exact same spot that they did last year. And that would be a win-win. And as far as the Knicks go, right now it is a win because Karl Anthony Towns carried the Knicks in the Game 4 win over the Pistons, hitting fadeaways, hitting long-distance threes. He was sensational in that series. But this trade was all about the big picture. It was not about the right now. It was not even about this upcoming season, although it looks like Minnesota has a great chance to duplicate the same success that they had in prior years. This trade was all about 2027, 2028, when Karl Anthony Towns has a cap hit of $61 million, which is going to eat up roughly 32.6% of the cap. And here's the problem with that. Karl Anthony Towns is no longer 28 years old. He is going to be 32 years old at that point, eating up $61 million of the NBA cap. And that's a problem. And that's why the Timberwolves made this trade. Randle was phenomenal versus the Lakers. Donte DiVincenzo had his moments, both good and bad, versus the Lakers. But this trade wasn't even about the 2024-2025 season. This trade was about the 2027-2028 season, when Edwards is going to be in his prime on the Timberwolves roster. And the Timberwolves are going to try to do their best to put the best team around Edwards. And when Karl Anthony Towns is eating up $61 million of your cap space, and Anthony Edwards is eating up a bunch of cap space yourself because he's a superstar in the NBA, well, then you have a problem. So, for so long this season, everyone called it a bad trade, a terrible trade. Why did we get rid of Karl Anthony Towns when the team struggled to gel and struggled to come together throughout the season? But it was never about this season. It was all about how you're going to prepare the Timberwolves roster to win games when Anthony Edwards is ready to go to that mega superstar level, when he is the face of the league, when he has an opportunity to win MVPs. Because you ain't doing that when Edwards is eating up 40% of your cap space and Karl Anthony Towns is eating up 32% of your cap space. That's a problem. And that's what Tim Connolly recognized from the Minnesota Timberwolves. He said, how are we going to build a roster around Edwards in 3 or 4 years when we've got a 32-year-old out of his prime, jacking up threes, eating up $61 million over cap space? It's impossible. And that's why the trade was done. And it looks like it's a win-win for both teams this season, but long-term, it's a win for the Timberwolves. So the Timberwolves flat out won this trade because it gave them flexibility moving forward in who they can sign and who they can trade for. So, really, the New York Knicks have a small window with Karl Anthony Towns because they need to win this season and next season, because after that, Karl Anthony Towns is entering out the door of his prime window in the NBA. Sure, he will still be able to make threes and he can still make some shots, but as far as his effectiveness, it is not going to be as strong as it is at 28 years old. So the pressure is now for the Knicks, whereas the Timberwolves continue to win without Towns and have that flexibility moving forward as their peak player, Anthony Edwards, enters his prime. It was a win-win-win-win-win. And that's why I'm passionate about it, because people never understood the big idea behind the trade. It was always about Towns and the contract cap hit that he had on the Timberwolves organization in 2027, 2028. That's what it was. The Minnesota Wild lost their series against the Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday night, and you can blame me. I work for the radio production team for the Wild. I'm a few people that do the same job, so I don't do every game. But I did game 1, I did game 4, and I did game 6. And the Minnesota Wild lost game 1, game 4, and game 6. So before I even talk about the game, I must apologize because of my part in the Wild losing their series against Vegas. With that being said, there's a couple of things that I want to touch on in that game. Earlier in the game, they called Kirill Kaprizov for a tripping penalty. At the end of the game, I am a very aficionado of officials. I defend them. I give them a break. But when there appears to be a discrepancy in the way that they are consistently calling the game, that's when I jump and criticize. Because if you call the game away in the first or second period and you call it different in the third period, then I have a problem. Because the officials set the expectation for how the game is going to be called. And once that expectation is set, okay, I got you, I read you, I understand what's being called. When the Wild were down by 1, there were 2 instances where the Wild players got tripped by a Vegas Golden Knights player. And because the official had this big fear of controlling the outcome of the game, they did not raise their hand and blow the whistle when the puck touched the Golden Knights, which is a massive problem. Because when Kirill Kaprizov got called for the tripping penalty, they had no problem putting their mark on the game and giving the Vegas Golden Knights a power play opportunity. They had no issue with that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was a tripping. I'll call it. I'll put my mark on the game. That's where officials go wrong, because a call in the second or third period or first period has just as much of a control or mark on the game as it does in the third period. Even if it's coming down to the closing minutes of the game, if there's a trip and it's similar to the trip in the first or second period, you've got to raise your hand and blow that whistle and give the Wild a fair chance, because they set the expectation. They said, I'm calling that. We are making the decision to wave our hand and call this tripping penalty, because we called it earlier. And the Wild lost. They could not score and tie the game, although they had many opportunities at the end of the game. And now their season's over, and they have not advanced to the second round of the NHL playoffs since 2015. So it's been 10 years. Long time. But now the Wild have an amazing opportunity, because the contracts that were holding them back, Parise and Suter, are now off the books, and they have money to spend. Sure, they have to give Kirill Kaprizov an extension, but there should still be enough money left over to give to other players. Because what the Wild are missing is another top talent on their roster. Kirill can play. He's the thrill. Eriksson Ek is solid. He's the good tipper. He's a scrappy guy near the net. But you need another guy on the roster like Kaprizov that can make plays happen. Because as sensational as Matt Boldy was during the NHL playoffs, he was great. He was not very good during the regular season. He did not step up to the point that everybody hoped he would when Kaprizov missed 50% of the season and Eriksson Ek missed 40% of the season. So how much can we really rely on Matt Boldy in taking that next step next season when he had an amazing opportunity, a tremendous opportunity to take the reins and say, I am going to control the Wild offense and I am going to be a leading scorer in the NHL because our top scorers are out. And he really didn't show up. He was like Houdini, a disappearing act. And maybe it had something to do with the Wild's best players not being available. I'm sure it did. Boldy's only 24 years old, so there's room to grow. But you look at his season, he had 27 goals this year, 29 last year, 31 the year before. He played all 82 games. and the numbers were just not there. The numbers that you would expect Matt Boldy to put up in the absence of two top scorers on the Wild just wasn't there. And you saw these random droughts throughout the regular season from the Wild throughout the regular season where it's just like, Boldy, step up and do something. Make an impact on the game. And he just wasn't doing it. Wild fans were waiting all season long for Boldy to take the reins and say, I'm going to step up and I'm going to be the beast. And he really didn't until the playoffs. But I just don't know if we can fully trust that one series against the Vegas Golden Knights is going to be enough to be like, yeah, this is the dude. He's going to do this from now on. But I just don't see it happening. Don't see it happening at all. That's what the Wild need. They need another top player on the offense to help Kirill so that he doesn't have to try to do everything out there. And they need a defensive guy too. Brock Faber's solid. Hopefully the Buum is good. He's only 19 years old. But you need stronger defensemen. So that's my take on the Wild. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. And remember, 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out today and get the bathroom remodel of your dreams. Everyone, have a great day. And thank you for going on this podcasting journey with me.